Hi Aquarius. You might hear background noise because I have the window open because I'm hot but cold, fall. So this month, oh God, this month is very important for what's to come year season for you. It's important in the sense that the Ten of Swords represents endings, but I'd say that your emotional body and your physical body and your mental body are probably really tired right now, especially with all the retrograding in your sign and going direct in your sign, all these different planets. For a lot of you, you're coming to this month and you'll need a lot of rest. And it's important because your mental capacity this month is going to really depend on your emotional capacity this month more than anything. So even though we're in a lot of fixed energy, which is your sign is fixed air, it's really important for you to get some air from a lot of different things. So things are going well. It's just that this is very much on a very personal level, very much about what you can offer yourself and what's being offered to you, meaning time, essentially, what makes you feel content now. Because Scorpio season can bring out a lot of jealousy, especially if you have a tendency to become jealous of other people or different scenarios in your life. It's important for you to be content with how your process is going, because it's not going to be super quick right now. And you know that. It's because all these things are starting to fall into place, but you realize how much that's taking out of you because all these planets working through your signs as well, and how much things are expanding. The beautiful thing about it is that having the Knight of Cups, the Knight of Cups and the Nine of Cups, and then the Death card, is that entering and going through Scorpio season is going to be a lot smoother than the beginning, because the beginning feels just kind of like an air sign into a water sign. It's like running into a big wall of water. So you find that the transformation is through slowing down this month, through this, and letting these different parts of you expand, parts of you that will feel uncomfortable to expand. And then these other parts of you that you're used to, the comfortable parts of you, are going to pull back. So that it's very clear that whatever Libra season showed you and whatever you were calibrating or recalibrating during that time, this month it's going to really sink in. Like something and a lesson that you're learning in your life, specifically if it has to do with receiving opportunities or receiving permission from yourself even to like move forward or move through things, even though it can feel taxing at times. At other times it feels really easy, or other times it feels like, okay, I'm finally getting somewhere. It's because the build is constant right now, but it's how you choose to build and how much do you set aside time for the specific rest or the specific moments to relax and feel the flow happening. And this month, that will be your challenge, is to not only sit with what is becoming very present to you in your mind and letting that filter. You're going to get a sense of, you're going to feel this relief, but there's also, again, this edge that's happening this month for you. It's almost pushing you to your edge, and then when it's like that pressure, and then like that relief that happens, and it will happen in just a very short amount of time, especially when Mars enters Scorpio. You'll feel like you have something figured out, and then in another moment you'll feel doubt about what you're thinking, and it could almost become this notion, but then all of a sudden something else something stops you. And it could be this part of you that has been acknowledging that whatever incessant thoughts or whatever different constant concepts that you're thinking of are different things that you're thinking of, you can lay those to rest in your mind. Even you don't have to constantly focus on what is being built. I know it sounds crazy from what I just said, but it's important for you to find that even when you back away, things can grow. Even when you take a back seat, things can grow. And you do know that, but you don't, the way you let go looks very different than what most people have attachment to. And it's because you may feel lazy or whatever, but it's because you've become so good at a certain aspect of your life that it becomes easy. And it doesn't matter what it looks like from the outside, but there's other parts of you that need your attention now more than ever. And this month will bring up, while you're doing that and bringing your focus there and changing that and shifting that, it may bring up things, especially if whatever happened through Virgo season, for sure. It's about the solidifying your worth through this process and knowing that what you need at different times it's important to create space for. So this space that's being open to you that could become one or two things. It can become very transformative, because there's a part of you that is transforming right now, and you're learning to surrender to that and let go of whatever outcome you think you could have, because it's going to be amazing no matter what. But it allows you to finally finish this process of grieving how different your life was just a year ago, or even a few months ago. There's this big change happening, and I think you're in this season, you feel the depth of the change that's shifting from Saturn being in your sign more than ever. It becomes very personal and intimate for you, but you also see the intimacy and you see that very deep connection in the world around you. You're being taken to the height of the depth now. And that's why the rest is really important, because you're going to find that that's what's going to bring you the most fortunate possibilities. You may even find that if you set aside a time to do that or meditate, that when you go check your phone after, you'll have a message from someone, especially if you do things on your own, or if you're looking to change something or just open to different things. You're going to find that a lot is flowing towards you the more that you kind of take an observational space, observational seat this month. That's a good word. And that's the Queen of Pentacles and the Hangman, very much solidifying this concept of, if you really focus on what's important in each step of your process, what needs to be let go of, it'll become easier to recognize. And it will not only help you in your own life, but whoever is immediately around you. And then, the ripple effect keeps going. And it can feel exhausting, it can feel hard, it can feel like a never-ending process. But there's a lot of cards out. There's this very obvious situation that comes up at the end of the month where something clicks, and especially if you've had issues with your physical body, it starts to relieve itself. Even the pressure starts to relieve itself, because the pressure is coming off of you, even though it's on you at the same time. You're allowing yourself to change before the eyes of other people, but also yourself, because what you want and how you see your future is much more, it's both stable, but there's also this huge fragility to it as well. And you recognize that more than ever now, and you realize, and you may come to realize, especially during the moon cycles. So even this is even going into Sagittarius season by the eclipse, by the eclipse, it's going to be completely clear as to what's important in your life right now, and how that also is very much the long-term connection, that will always be important, that what's happening right now will always be important. And like in this moment, in each moment, and this month may ask you to become more present with yourself, your process. You might even need to tell the people that surround you, or the people that you talk to, that you might need a little bit more space this month. That this month is, because it has the ability to deceive you if you're too much inside of yourself. So make sure you have people that are checking in with you, or you're checking in with other people, and you're reaching out when you need to, because that's something that learning to do for you can actually help settle your nervous system and settle these parts of you that you kind of keep hidden, but you can't keep hidden this month. It's just not, it's going to come out. And whatever you have kept hidden, you're going to see the light. It's going to be very clear to the people that surround you, but ultimately it's making you accept some things and become more secure in yourself and how you handle what comes out and what is revealed. Because some of you, there is a place in your life where you've changed, but there's this, like, why won't this just click? Why is this person, it's, for some of you it's a specific person, like, why isn't this working, or what is it about? Or it's a part of your skills, like you're really good at this thing and you've been doing this certain skill for a long time, and you don't know why something specific isn't clicking. Well, there's something about your shadow. There's something that to the depths of you needs to be seen by you in order for this to really click. So again, there's a lot of clicking this month, but it's also like this self-recognition, self-recognition of how you become stable in the reception, in the receptive parts of your nature. It's been a whirlwind the past few months, and now it's like this month is going to have its cleansing, its harshness, its obsession, its different it's, sexual tension. It's going to have all of these different aspects that you do really enjoy, and yet you also can resist, especially when it's necessary. So when we look at the cards, it will make a lot more sense. It's just really important for you to allow these different parts of the way you think and the way you see yourself and the way you see yourself handling different situations to come together. Not try to force yourself to be someone that you're not. Not try to fit yourself. The fixed signs, the very fixed nature of this month could feel overbearing for some of you. That's why you'll need the space. But that space will also help you realize why you also need certain connections, why you need certain outlets, why you need certain where you need to sit with things and really see things as they are. So you're going to see a lot up close this month. And then towards the end of the month, it'll become a lot easier to take that seat back. It's going to be a progression of that. And when you do have and find your more ease with this receptive nature that you find yourself in, that is going to preserve and add to whatever it is that you've been working on. And it's going to allow you to let go of whatever's stopped things from progressing, or stopped things from, and stopped you from taking action where you've needed to, or, and also allowing yourself to give yourself the freedom to take those steps back, to take that time, to take your skills that you've harnessed so well and use them wisely, not just how you see other people do it. A lot more to come. This month is very interesting. I know it's been like weird getting it out even, but there's a lot here. So when we look at the cards, it'll make more sense, hopefully. There's a lot of cards out, and all the information to work with me is below. Payment options are there as well. I hope you have a great Scorpio season, and remember to breathe. I'll see you next month. Hi, Aquarius. Okay, so there's a lot of cards, and I'm going to do my best, but if you can see the pattern, please identify the pattern, because I see the pattern. And it's really funny. It's like, I appreciate you sometimes in this way, specifically, that you make things easy. And not for everybody. For someone like me, you make it easy to read you. And it's a beautiful quality, because in this day and age where people don't want to be read, or it's just like, you're not read because you're basic. You're read because you really do just, you are just yourself. Regardless of if you're feeling insecure or you're feeling whatever, you're just being yourself. And you're being yourself to the capacity of like, you don't need to engage. Like, you just know how to handle the mood that you're in and the space that you're in, for the most part. And more than ever, you're learning how to do that with yourself as things, get a little bit more, just get different. There's, Saturn being in your sign, right? So first we have the 10. So I'm going to see this down. This is the pattern, right? So I'm going to read it like this, and then I'm also going to have you notice these 3 cards. It's like an evolution in itself. So this month you're going to feel like literally a week by week transformation of like, this is the next step. This is the next step. So in the beginning of the month, right as Scorpio season starts, you can feel, or you may have experienced, you're just tired. You just need a lot of rest. You may also be like, from one day to the next, may feel a huge difference in your energy, because wherever you've been tired of, it's more of just like, whatever happened during the retrogrades, you're really done with. Like, you're really, I want a better word. It's you're moving on, moving forward. Scorpio season is doing that, but you feel like you're so okay with it. You may have fought it a little this year, more than you'd like to have thought, because it was really just in your head. But really, you just need to be giving yourself the proper rest when you're in your head. So I wouldn't say sleep every time you're in your head, but you might want to do practices where you get to like meditate, flow, I don't know, whatever you like to do that allows you to be very restful when you're in that state. Because those moments, those breakdowns, if they're more breakdowns for you, because they can be, and because you feel emotion to the height, and now we're in a season of feeling it to the depth. And this part of you is understanding that this is a solitary month for you. Towards the end of the month, you'll feel more social, but don't get on yourself if you really don't feel social this month. For some of you, you'll feel very picky, even more picky about how you spend your time. Not that you're someone who's just like always out there, but you're just kind of like doing things for more of a purpose. Like, not that it's always a good thing to do something just because you're getting something out of it. But if it's energy and if it's recognizing your worth or seeing how fortunate you are, there's nothing wrong with that, and you need more of that. It's more, the more you experience that, the more you understand that it's possible. So then we get to the Hanged Man here, that third chapter. It's you recognizing that all of this is just to focus on yourself, to allow certain things to just fade away, to allow certain grievances, certain things that you have lost, but also to notice what you've gained. And that maybe what's in these cups behind you is there's so much more in them that could ever have been in those 3 if you had 5. It's like you needed to only focus on this part. And for a long time, trying to focus on other things, while could be great, it just, the way that your skills and the way that you want to hone in on your skills is a way that I think the retrograde, and then also by the time we get to the Sagittarius full moon or new moon, the moons, it'll be very obvious to you. Sorry, I thought this was going to be neater, but it's not. Whatever. By that time, you'll feel like so much understanding, and you'll have a skill for yourself. You'll have this skill where, and this insight where, so the Magician and the Moon next to each other and then next to the Eight of Swords can mean quite a few different things. And the few things that, the main things, that are coming to the surface is that you no longer can deceive yourself, right? That certain things that happen aren't your fault because you maybe have known it and didn't remember. No, it's just certain things won't be able to deceive you moving forward, but you've had to have them show up in that way to understand where maybe you've been depriving yourself of seeing this deception. And for some of you, it's about you understanding that is just a part of what this process is of growing in this very structured Saturn way that you can feel like everything's a very step-by-step planned. Everything has a purpose. There's, it's hard work. But through that, you find so much more content in who you're becoming because you may feel a lot more secure in yourself. Yeah, it may feel bumpy this month. I'm not going to say it's going to be easy, but you'll have so many opportunities to come back to yourself in a way that you can relax yourself. And then you find that good things happen when that happens. And when you notice that, you're like, oh, I want to do that more. And then by the end of the month, it'll be a huge process of like, oh, I'm different. I'm changing. Or something about me is changing. And you feel so much more secure in the future because you've allowed yourself to really see this part of your life, this part of you that you just couldn't quite understand before. It also gives you a skill, like a huge skill of seeing that in others. And if you're someone who works with clients or works one-on-one with people or works in a certain capacity, it's going to be a lot easier for you moving forward. The skill will have to be honed, of course, and like sharpened, but this month will, do plenty of that. I mean, it's also another fixed sign. So of course this is a month about like the security and that deeper view of that for you, because by the time you get to your season, you'll totally understand this direction more than ever. And you might understand it more than other people. So you might not feel inclined to like talk about it, but you understand the bigger picture. You see the pattern. So your pattern, and also just really take care of yourself this month. So if you are feeling really tired, like definitely give yourself that rest, because you're going to need the energy just to do, your life. All of that energy is going to go towards like what you really need to do. So definitely trust that, because you can get, some of you can be prone to getting really sick this month if you especially like if you're super stressed out. I know it's not easy, but do your best to manage or do some kind of practice to manage your stress this month. It'll be worth it. That's what that is too. Very Virgo. If there is a Scorpio in your life, they may be someone you look towards are looked to in this time. And again, rest is your best friend. Things will move forward so much quicker. You'll feel so much more secure in your worth too. And like for different things that you're doing, you'll feel you just feel way more confident about your process too, I feel. If there is a Sagittarius, Cancer, Pisces in your life, they might be the ones that you're learning the deception through. However, I do feel that that really isn't about a specific person. It's about different situations. But then for some of you, it really can be about a specific person. And then it just becomes very obvious to you. And it's almost like they're making it so obvious. And you're just like, okay. And you just like start not to care about certain things that you used to care about. It just becomes very easy to just be like, yeah, fuck that. It's like very Scorpio season. This is very blunt. Okay, Aquarius, I hope that you got something from this reading. I hope it was helpful. Thank you for being here. All the information to work with me is below, and I will see you next month.